serious about business.
JAMPRO aims to increase the export of non-traditional products and, of course, support the development of Jamaican MSMEs. To that end, they've partnered with the Jamaica Manufacturers and Exporters Association and the Jamaica Business Development Corporation to launch the third Export Max. I'm Theodore Henry for Business Access TV. Stay with us.
It is good to be here, and it's a pleasure joining you for the launch of the third iteration of this program. This morning's event is a fitting tribute to the industry players and signals a great promise for the micro, small, and medium-sized enterprises and the importance that has been placed on export diversification. This launch seeks to build on the success of Exports Max 1 and 2, which together recorded over $2.2 billion in sales. Indeed, its previous success sets the stage for the implementation of this third iteration, which we are now undertaking on a much larger scale. Let me take this opportunity to commend the JAMPRO on conceptualizing and taking us this far with this program. And let's welcome our new Export Max partners, the Jamaica Business Development Corporation and the Jamaica Manufacturers and Exporters Association. With their strengths, we'll be joining forces to improve and efficiently manage and implement the program. And I'd like to thank our sponsors and future participants. You have signed up for a game-changing program that will have national impact. Jamaica has strong export potential and growing export capacity. The imperative for achieving greater export performance and thus realizing export-led growth and global competitiveness in our exports as part of the export strategy is therefore of extreme importance as we strive for national prosperity and wealth creation. In the globalized economy, it is critical that Jamaica becomes highly organized in order to be fully integrated into the world economy in a manner that allows us to elevate our position on the global value chain and supply chains. Jamaica has been standing still for too long. Standing still while our trading partners have been taking steps to implement best practices for business and trade-friendly environments. This ministry, therefore, through its agencies, is seeking to attain greater diversification in the export industry by achieving higher value addition in priority tech sectors, increasing the value of non-traditional export of goods through increased volume and higher value addition, increasing the contribution of services exports as a percentage of our overall exports, including our creative industries, and increasing penetration in existing markets and accessing new and emerging markets. Let me add to that the specifics, some specifics which I want you to implant in your minds. There are three distinct underdeveloped markets. Let me just mention what those three are. The tourism industry. Too much of the fresh and processed foods that they consume are coming in on the planes with the tourists, and we have the capacity to supply them. Second, CARICOM. 16 countries in CARICOM. All of them are net importers of food, fresh and processed. Yet, we export precious little to CARICOM, and we have the privilege of exporting it duty-free. And what's the third significant market? The Jamaican diaspora. In Canada, the United States, and England, the market is as big as Jamaica. Somebody from London told me recently that because they cannot get what they want in Jamaica, they import the stuff from Africa and slap a Jamaican label on it. Castor oil, by the way. A lot of castor oil that is now being sold internationally with the Jamaica label on it. The raw material is not from Jamaica. Unacceptable. So as government, we are committed to promoting brand Jamaica to the world, identifying new trade and investment opportunities in order to spur economic growth. My ministry will continue to work with critical stakeholders to enable them to capitalize on opportunities in the export market, as more than ever, greater focus must be placed on growing our economy through exports. One of the things that the ministry is committed to doing is changing the soft infrastructure that will support the growth of trading across borders. To this end, a few weeks ago, we launched a trade facilitation portal that will house the information about all the various processes that underpin trading across our borders. It is our vision that the Trade Information Portal will be the central source of information that will ensure that if someone is an exporter, or even if they are dreaming about being an exporter, they need only to visit this one place that will provide them with all the knowledge they need to navigate the trading process. On the heels of this, we are also excited about the progress that we are making in implementing a single trade electronic window for the government, which will see all the various government processes integrated into a single online system that will allow for all trade-related transactions to be done online, supported by a robust risk management system to protect the country's borders and its reputation overseas. And so Export Max is only one more prong in the government's network of activities that will allow for the framework for each and every exporter to experience success, and ultimately for us to achieve economic growth and prosperity in Jamaica.
Dodge & Global offers a CPA scholarship program to team members who join our team. A career in accountancy at Dodge & Global is a great choice and can offer you excellent job prospects. We believe that an accounting education is the greatest gift you can give yourself or anyone else. Few gifts make as significant an impact as the gift of an accountancy education with a job. It's a contribution that lasts a lifetime in the form of learning, opportunity, and success. Join our team and get the opportunity to be part of our CPA scholarship program. This scholarships awards program will be administered by the HR department of Dodge & Global. Requirements: first degree in accounting, employed at Dodge & Global, willing to pursue the CPA examination. Here's how to apply. Submit application to Staff Accountant, Dodge & Global. Email sa@dodgen.com.
So, welcome. So let me start out by asking Dan, Export Max, I know Export Max started within Jampro. Why Export Max 3 and what makes it different this time around?
Okay, thanks Claude, and good morning ladies and gentlemen. We are so excited to be here at the launch of Export Max 3. Why are we doing Export Max 3? It's actually one of the programs that I'm proudest of in my time at Jampro. I think that, as the minister said, export is one of our critical pieces, is critical in our lifeblood. It's in our DNA. We have to export. We're a small island nation. We have tremendous products. We need to take them to the world in a more organized, systematic way where we respect standards, we understand the adaptability of our products to market demands, where we understand the markets that we are trying to penetrate. Export Max is that program. The results that we got out of Export Max 1 and 2 show what a deliberate program can do, where you start by diagnosing what does the product need to be adapted to market demand. what evolution needs to go on in the company itself. So it's not just the product, but it's also the management that must have the right mindset to penetrate international markets. So we're identifying that demand, identifying the market trends, helping the companies to adapt their products, and that mentorship, which we brought on in Export Max 2, is a critical component because the ones who are successful must help the ones who have not started yet or who have not yet been successful. So that was the innovation of Export Max 2. And what we decided in Export Max 3 is that to double, to more than double the number of companies in the program, we really couldn't do it alone anymore because Export Max is a really labor intensive and brain intensive project. It needs a lot of time spent hand-holding companies, explaining export to them, helping their management to be ready. So we really needed the help of our partners, and we're really, really proud and excited and energized that we have two such fantastic partners, as well as the other sponsors who have come on board, because we need more expertise, we need more hands on deck. Export is not easy. Standards in the international market are constantly becoming more critical, more difficult. So we needed partners on board who could help us to interpret some of the issues on the international market, some of the standards. You see, Bureau of Standards is on board, and also to help galvanize those exporters to greater effort and to greater understanding. And then we needed the business development side that JBUC can bring to really help companies to develop their business plans, develop their loan applications, to become more formalized, develop their bookkeeping acumen. We think this is one of the most important programs that JAMPRO and the country have ever created because we think that this is an integrated way of taking our MSMEs the next step forward. We are very excited and we just want to have more participation from the MSME community because sometimes you don't know what you don't know, and it's when you start on that journey of trying to understand how do I get from point A to point B that you start to realize what it is you don't know and how and where you can find help. So really this is a plea to and a stimulus and an encouragement and almost a demand of the SME sector listening to us today. You need to get on board because this program can change your life professionally and change your export horizon.
Okay. Valerie, you decided without hesitation, came on board. Why did you see training and capacity building as such important components for exporters?
Our logo speaks for what we do, which is business development in the fulsomeness of it, and how can we help you? So we know for sure that capacity building is even beyond that thing called training. It's really getting into the nitty-gritty of the companies, the enterprises, looking at the concept, if it makes sense, whether local or external market, putting the proper structures in place, and as Dan says, formalizing the business. It means governance have to be in place. You have to know your numbers to know what stories are coming out. Worst, if you're thinking of exporting, you have to be really secure in moving forward. So we have been spending a lot of time with our client group preparing them for the market, because for us, global market is right here in Jamaica. So standards must be in place. Governance must be in place. And you must be thinking business. And I agree with Dan, we have to get over that hump of doing a little thing until some big job comes along, because it's not going to come along. So it means that we have to be innovative and we have to be on target for moving forward. We're going to be looking, as we said, as we had agreed, at all the innovative industries that have the possibilities for export. So food, niche markets, high quality, value-added products, non-food, services, certainly the technology-based industries and the creative industries in all aspects have to be part of that big umbrella. Our mandate is to help them. So even if they come
Right.
and they're not ready for Export Max,
Right.
it doesn't mean that they can't be in the passageway.
Okay.
So they need not hesitate. They
Right.
need to come forward.
Right.
If they're not in that lane,
Right.
it means you go and prepare them for
Okay.
whatever is appropriate. So
Right.
there is no reason to sit and wonder if.
Okay.
You need to come forward and let us work together and see which lane you are really in.
Right.
And if you happen to move into this fast track, no, that's wonderful. If not, you're on the way to preparation.
Okay.
Because we must export. Dan keeps saying export or that. I think we have been in coma because we're waiting to die.
When we look at the program or we look at life, we always like to say nobody born big. We all are a product of training, exposure, and experience. And you almost need all three in the right combination to be successful. So in the area of mentorship and advocacy, I think JMEA coming on board, which will have a portfolio of businesses that are already exporting, play a very important role. So I'd love to hear from you, Metri. Tell us in plain terms, how do you see the JMA supporting this effort and your decision to come on board?
Well, when I heard Diane and Valerie speak, I realized that what we have here is a perfect marriage.
Okay.
2 women and 1 man. No, I'm joking. No, seriously, what we have is a perfect marriage here.
Right.
Because what we have is the JMEA that has the base of membership. Our membership base is about 400 companies, most of which and many of which are small to medium-sized companies, which is the base that we need. Then we have Valerie, who is going to do the business development process, and then Jumper that's going to deal with the export market.
Right.
What we bring to the table is a lot of hand-holding. We are about solving problems and solving issues. Right. So they're going to have issues. There's no question about it. Right. I think one of the ways we could say it is that we're a big brother to the companies, and we hold their hands and we walk with them through the process. Right. We just go, Valerie will take them to a particular stage, and then we will take them from there until we're ready to hand them off to Jampro to really go and do the export. But I wanted to say that the JMEA is fully committed to this program. That's why we have joined. We recognize how important it is. And as Diane said, it is probably one of the most important initiatives that any agency in Jamaica has put in place. The numbers speak for themselves, right. And we hope to be a part of this process going forward for a long time to come.
How does one apply for the program? Could you give some thoughts on that?
Thank you. I was hoping you'd ask that question. We have a kiosk at the back. We have several Jampro members of our team here. We have an expression of interest form, which you can get from our team at the back. Copies of the form are also available from the various agencies and on our website. www.dobusinessjamaica.com. You can download this expression of interest form and send it in, and we will be happy to contact you and start the journey with you, because this is a journey. It's a 3-year program. This is really about helping you through a process and on a journey to success. Tell your associates, people you know who have a product or who even have an idea. They can start talking to JBDC from the idea stage. So let's create a movement that can change export.
Thank you, Dan. So I'll throw it out. Any final thoughts?
This is an example, the collaboration, the example how we in Jamaica should work together. Right. Because no one institution or person has all the skills, all the information. Correct. And until we start putting the ego behind the door and working together, we're not going to move. So I'm celebrating from JBDC the kind of collaboration that we have agreed to have between our agencies. I think it's a good move, and we know successes down the lane.
Metri, any final thoughts?
In closing, I would ask everybody in this room, when you leave here today, call 5 persons that you know that are in business. Let us be oversubscribed.
Yes.
Let us have that problem. Let us reach back out to our sponsors and tell them that we need more from them, because this is good for Jamaica.
Thank you, Metri.
We have some Export Max graduates in the audience, and I think it's important not only to hear from us, but to hear from people who are actually on the program. So dare I say that Rita Hilton is on his
Yeah, they're going to be on the program. Yeah, they're
okay.
yeah.
So Rita, Omar, I think you're all going to talk later on. So
All right, a round of applause for the head of agencies. Thank you very much.
Cameo takes you behind the scenes of Jamaica's exploding creative industries to give you an insider's look at how creatives get the job done.
I'm really picky about how we treat our customers.
As creative people, we went a little bit over the top.
Each week, we interview innovators leading the charge in their industry.
The chaos of creativity meets the stricture of structure on Business Access TV's Cameo.
Hi, it's Novia MacDonald White, Senior Associate Editor at the Jamaica Observer. And guess what? You are watching Business Access Television.
This is Solomon Sharp, CEO Main Event Entertainment Group. You are watching Business Access TV, serious about business.
I'm going to invite some past Export Max participants to speak. Rita Hilton from Carita, Jamaica, and Omar Azan, CEO Boss Furniture. So in the spirit of ladies first, I'm going to ask Rita Hilton to come and just give a couple of remarks about her experience with Export Max.
I think this is a great opportunity. Having benefited from Export Max 2, I'd like to highlight some of the things that made it so important for me and what the results have been like. It was important for me because it allowed me to step into the Caribbean export market. Carita has been in business for 34 years, and our whole business is aligned with exports. We were primarily involved in fresh produce exports, but recently we've been adding value to Jamaican products and trying to build up that component of bringing more value to Jamaica. Now, with Export Max 2, what did I benefit from? Going into the Caribbean market, which I didn't know at all, and I have to tell you that out of that, we have one concrete market which we opened in the Bahamas. And that partner has been so impressed with our output that they have come with a proposal to invest in our company and buy equity into our company. I learned that I wasn't really completely prepared to take advantage of all the opportunities. So if you're going into Export Max 3, come with an open mind. You think you know it, you don't know it. Learn, absorb, and execute. You need to have a partner on the ground in the territory that you're going to be working with that will teach you about that market and the market needs. It's not Jamaica, and it is not the globe. It is a very special type of market, and each market has its own needs. So keep an open mind, learn from the opportunities. What was wonderful is the amount of work that Jampro put in before we went into the markets. And that was the critical success of the Export Max 2. Into every territory that we went, there were buyers available, and it wasn't the underlings that came to the market opportunities. They were high level personnel that came to talk business and to do business. The other thing that I learned so much from is the capacity building. You think you know how to run a business? Well, you don't, because the way you start is not the way you grow and keep on growing. You see all this white hair? That comes from years and years of learning I started as a high school teacher, and our exports have reached close to 3 million US. And those are sales. That is not money to spend. That's money that you invest back in your business after you've paid the expenses. So don't think that you've achieved success and can drive a Mercedes-Benz. I still drive a pickup, okay?
I'll just say that for me, for my company, it's been an amazing experience. The team has been behind. There are times when I wasn't even up to doing some of the things, and they came and sat in my office and said, Omar, listen, we need you to get this thing done. And they would push me to do it. Today, I'll say historical. This is our first time in history that our company has receivables. Today, I checked it this morning, from 14 different countries owing me money at the end of this month to pay me, to pay my suppliers, where I think at the end of this month, I can probably pay all the suppliers I owe from just a foreign exchange earning. So that is a huge, huge, huge difference than where I was a few years ago. This is an excellent thing that JAMPRO is doing. I'll say it. You know me, I talk the truth every time I come up on the podium to speak. And, you know, we need to just get everybody behind this. Our Jamaican people, our staff in our factories, we need to push our exports to get this country going. Thank you.
I am inspired and excited this morning. And I want, on behalf of the entire team, JAMPRO, JMEA, JBDC, I just want to say thank you all for coming out and hearing this program and participating in this launch. So we're going to take you into the Caribbean, Europe, and the USA to sell your goods and services and to return with those all-important contracts and to deliver on the promise that you would have made to be a champion exporter. I expect this program will be a positive, life-changing experience for you and your businesses. So where do we go from here? The steps are very easy. We are inviting all business owners here to complete the registration expression of interest form. Following the expression of interest, you'll be required to complete a more in-depth application form. The deadline for submission will be January 30, 2019. Final selection of our participants will be done by March 15, 2019. And by April, MOUs with all the participants will be signed, and that's when the real work begins. But it will be exciting, it will be fun.
This has been the launch of Export Max 3, and I've been your host, Theodore Henry. Keep watching Business Access TV, serious about business.
Do you want to build your company's capacity or export your products or services to new global markets? Then you can be a part of Export Max 3, an enterprise development program for Jamaican companies. Sign up today. Applications close January 31, 2019. Expand your business for export growth. Visit dobusinessjamaica.com for details. Export Max 3. Grow beyond borders. It's brought to you by JAMPRO, JMEA, and JBDC.
Hey guys, I'm Candy and welcome to Chill Spot, Jamaica's ultimate leisure show. This season promises to reveal some of the hidden treasures of the lifestyle industry by taking you to the chill spots of some of Jamaica's most brilliant business minds, giving you a glimpse into how they choose to unwind and just pull a vibe. You won't want to miss what happens next. Stay tuned. Sundays at 4:30 p.m. It's all about Home Sweet Home. Get your half-hour dose of the business of real estate, from laws and concepts to reality, building, buying, or renting? Or what about trends in decor or renovations? Home Sweet Home will keep you up to date.
Your business matters. Business Access TV offers you the most innovative and effective advertising solution for your business, specializing in B2B sales, cost-effective solutions, the customers you want, the repetition you need. No matter the size and nature of your company, your business matters.
Call us at 876-291-6233 or 876-376-4225. Email sales@batvja.com.
The Primary Exit Profile, PEP, is a series of assessments that replace GSAT. PEP provides a profile of where the student is academically, their strengths, weaknesses, and readiness for grade 7. Welcome to Jamaica Magazine. I am Theodore Henry. Coming up in today's program, we'll be discussing PEP, which is right around the corner, so you don't want to miss a minute. Stay tuned.
What if they knew that you abused her? Her family?
Mr. Jones.
And your colleagues, how will they look at an abuser? When the law comes knocking, you'll have nowhere to run.
Mr. Brown, you're under arrest. Please get up, hands behind your head and interlock your fingers.
Turn your back on abusers. Report gender-based violence to the police. There's no excuse for abuse. Call the Bureau of Gender Affairs at 876-754-8577.
This week on Get the Facts, we're joined by Assistant Chief Education Officer for the Student Assessment Unit at the Ministry of Education, Mrs. Terry-Ann Thomas-Gale, as she discusses all we need to know about the upcoming Primary Exit Profile, PEP.
Welcome to Get the Facts, a program that provides you with information on government's policies and initiatives. I'm your host, Anthros Campbell. The Primary Exit Profile, or PEP exams, are coming up soon, and as some of our nation's children prepare themselves, we want to provide them with some useful information, as well as for their parents. Joining us is Terry-Ann Thomas-Gale, Deputy Chief Education Officer for Students Assessment Unit at the Ministry of Education. Mrs. Gale, welcome to the program. So good to have you.
Thanks for having me, Ms. Gamble. It's a pleasure being here.
Great. How many students are registered for the PEP exams this year?
Okay, so for this year, we have a total of 39,561 students registered to sit the exam at the grade 6 level.
How does that compare with last year?
Last year, we had run about the same amount sitting the exams.
Okay. So PEP is in its second year.
Yes.
Give us an overview of what has happened since the start of the exam.
Okay, last year we had our first sitting of the Primary Exit Profile for grades 4, 5, and 6. Our grade 6 students matriculated to grade 7 at the secondary level. Since then, we have continued with the piloting of our items. We maintain our testing processes. So we had item writing, piloting continues right throughout the year. We would have done our cognitive labs and our field studies on the items to ensure that they are valid and reliable going onto the test forms that will be administered throughout the year 2020.
Yes.
So this year, our grade 6 students will start the process come February 25th. The students will sit the Primary Exit Profile for the ability test.
Okay, all right, before we go to that, tell us, there were some issues last year. How have you worked on improving those for this year?
The issues we had last year, seeing it was the first year being rolled out, we had issues such as the reporting mechanism. Persons were concerned about the use of the scale scores as against the percentage scores. What we did, we had workshops with our principals, especially those at the secondary level. So we went to all regions except for one region, which is still yet to be done. We would have walked our high school principals as to how it is that the reports should be interpreted, the intent of the assessment, and how it is that they can continue the development and the implementation of the national standards curriculum at grade 7. There was also the issues.
Grade 7?
Grade 7. So we met with the high school principals.
Yes.
Our primary school principals were part of the focus group that we did. We had selected school representatives such as at the primary level. We had the principals, the teachers, and the parents who formed part of our focus groups to look at the report and to give guidance as to what is needed, what are their needs on the students' report. We would have piloted those reports throughout the reporting mechanism last year, and we have received feedbacks and we have implemented the feedbacks that we would have received. For the grade 6 reporting, persons were concerned about the different scores. Now on the report we have scores such as the individual subject scores. We have the composite score. Now, this is a score that is used for placement, and this score is developed based on the weighting that is given. In the implementation of PEP and the rollout, we would have advised the system that the performance task measured valued 20%, and that was over a 3-year period. So at grades 4, when the students sit their performance task, it would value 5%. At grade 5, it would value 7%, and at grade 6, it would value 8%. And the ability test values 30%. And the curriculum-based test would value the remaining 50%. So of the individual subject scores for these subjects, only 50% in the case of the curriculum-based test, that would go towards the final, this placement. And 30% of what they would have gotten on the ability test added to that, and 20% of the performance task. And as well, there was the percentile, the ability test, because of the nature of the assessment, it is not reported using scaled score. It is reported using the percentile rank. And so this disparity was with the different scores.
Children can start earning marks from grade 4?
From grade 4. And that's one of the plus for PEP,
yes.
Unlike GSAT where it was a one-shot sitting down doing this exam at grade 6, for PEP you actually start earning points as early as grade 4.
Okay, so talk to us about the grades that you need to get to your first choice school.
Because of the placement mechanism that is used, there is no set grade for a particular school.
Is that really true?
It is really true. The placement is done based on how the students perform. So after all the scores would have been calculated, you are ranked using this placement score. And based on your rank, that's how you're placed into the high school. So for example, if it were that all the students who scored high based on their composite score selected a particular high school, even if the average going in there would be a scale score of 280, that would be where the highest ranked student go. So the ministry doesn't have like a score for a particular high school. It all depends on the students who sit the exam and the choices they make. So for example, both of us sit the exam.
Yes.
After all our scores are calculated, you're ranked number 1. The computer system will place you first. And if I'm number 2, I'm given my first choice if it is that the schools are not
if I'm
filled.
ranked number 1, I'll get my first choice school, the school
Automatically, because you're the first person being placed.
Yes, and if I do extremely well, So you don't rank the schools?
No, the schools are not ranked. The students are ranked based on their performance and based on the weighting that is allotted to the different companies.
You say you have been talking to the principals and so on, but did you get down to having sessions with teachers?
The preparation for PEP is not much different from the preparation for GSAT in that the teachers only need to implement the national standards curriculum. We would have gone and trained all grades level on how to assess the national standards curriculum. We would have improved in the Ministry of Education, Youth and Information. We would have improved our supervisory module where we have core curriculum officers as well as the territorial officers out there in the schools giving guidance. Along with that, we have our over 300 math coaches, literacy coordinator, HFLE. All our officers are equipped to guide the system as how it is that the national standards curriculum should be implemented.
Okay. All right, we take a break now. We come back with more discussion on the primary exit profile examination, PEP. Stay with us.
Let's get a little breeze on this land. All right. Now let's get some bounce in the rhythm. All right. Let's get some fire on our hearts. Now that is what we call all right. Run, come, get some Jamaica.
Welcome back to Get the Facts. We continue our discussion with Terry and Thomas Gale, Deputy Chief Education Officer for Students Assessment Unit at the Ministry of Education. In our first segment, you were talking a lot about the composite score. Tell us what is that?
I want to point out that this composite score was always used for GSAT. The difference with PEP is that we communicated this time around.
Yes.
For GSAT, that was what was done behind the scenes to rank the students and place them into the schools based on their selections. The students are given 7 choices, 5 from anywhere on the island, and there are 6th and 7th choice from the school in close proximity to their sending school, the primary level institutions. After we would have ranked the students, first there are 42,000 students who would have sat the exam based on the scores that they would have gotten on the different components, the different papers. Their scores based on the weighting that is given, the 20% for the performance task, the 30% for the ability, and the 50% for the curriculum-based test. All that they are added, and the students are, there are some mathematical principles put in place, the standard deviation, and they are given a ranked number. And they're ranked. Based on that number, they are ranked in order. That order now, it is what we use to place them. So the composite score is nothing new. The newness of it is that it is actually known. It was always behind the scene. That's the only way we could use to rank the students and to place them.
Students can get help from the PEP app. Yes, tell us a little about that.
Okay, so we have the PEP app as well as we have a PEP website.
Yes.
On the PEP website, we would have, for this year, we would have published grade 6 publication. Within the grade 6 publication, there are items for the different components. So we have ability sample items. We have the curriculum-based sample items, so all 4 subject areas, and we have the performance task. All these sample items were from last year's paper. It is the plan of the ministry every year to release some of the items that were from the previous year's sitting. So that publication is available on the website. Parents can go on and have the children practice using those. Our teachers would have become more comfortable, let me say comfortable, using the variety of item types. And our teachers, they are the ones who write the items for us. They have really blossomed. The items that are now being written and use within our classroom. They have shown that the teachers are on stream. They are now using the items that we would have posited.
Okay, how do we get to the PEP app?
The PEP, the
should know this by
URL, it
now,
would be
but-
pep.moey.gov.jm. So once you type that in, the PEP website comes up and you can navigate because it's really user-friendly.
Yes. Let's go to the PEP exams now.
Right.
You were saying the first one is in February. Tell us about
So come February 25th, our grade 6 students will sit the ability test. I want to remind our viewers that the ability test looks at reasoning verbally and quantitatively. So that exam is not aligned to the National Standards Curriculum. The students need at least a grade 4 level exposure to the school system to acquire those items. And on March 19th, that's Thursday, March 19th, we'll have the performance task in language arts, and on the 20th, we will have the performance task in mathematics.
How long are these papers?
The ability test is 1 hour and 15 minutes. The performance, the task, they're 2 hours long, but there's a break in between.
And we can be assured that our students are ready and our teachers are ready.
Based on the feedback from the ground, we would have used the data from last year's administration of the PEP, and that was what was used by our territorial officers and the core curriculum unit. We would have gone into those schools that we saw based on the results where they had issues implementing, issues on the test, and we would have assisted in areas of weaknesses. The good thing about PEP, we're not just getting a score about the students, we're getting an entire profile. So from the results, you're able to see the exact category of weaknesses, whether or not the students have problem with problem solving, whether they're unable to communicate in the language arts and the mathematics across the different subject areas. And so the targeted approach is much better.
Are there measures in place for students with special needs?
We do have, at the Ministry of Education, we have a special education unit, and what we would have done for those students with special needs, we would have also given them special accommodations. Special accommodation is given after psychoeducational assessment is submitted for the students. And we have special accommodations such as writers, prompters, extra time. I want to point out also that even for placement of our students with special needs, these are specially placed. So our special education officers, they would know the students within the schools who are wheelchair bound, who have certain learning challenges, and so these children would be specially placed.
How can persons get in touch with you, the ministry, if they have needs that are not being met?
On the PEP website, there are different phone numbers for the different areas. At the Student Assessment Unit, we can be contacted at 876-922-5680. My cell number is available, rather a WhatsApp message. It's 876-455-3003.
Okay, and as we wrap, talk to our parents and our students as they get ready. They tend to get nervous, right? What would you say to our parents and students at this time?
Before I get there, I remember last year the students reported that it is much easier than everybody led them to believe. And I want to assure our parents that our students are ready. The students are ready for PEP. And I want you to just encourage your child, ensure that the child gets the rest before the exam. We want you to have conversation, because the more the child talks about what is being learned, the better it is for them to represent it on paper. Encourage your children to read the questions carefully, because the answers are there. Do not rush. There is adequate time to complete all the assessment. They don't need to rush to finish and to sit there. I want to also encourage us to be supportive. The teachers within our schools, they're aware of what is required for your students, and they are adequate enough to guide you in getting them ready for PEP.
Thank you so very much. This has been Get the Facts. Our guest was Terrian Thomas Gale, Deputy Chief Education Officer for Students Assessment Unit at the Ministry of Education, Youth and Information. We wish our PEP students well and urge the parents to be calm. Until next time, when Get the Facts brings you another informative discussion, I'm Enthros Campbell. Do take good care.
As you've just heard, the primary exit profile PEP examination is right around the corner. This next feature will highlight a free app, I said free, that parents and students can utilize when preparing for the exam.
What I liked about the app is that it helps students to understand basics in different subject areas.
I found it wonderful because it helped me to, in my language arts, it helped me to pass my exam.
PEP Tutor is a free application that works on all Android devices by default for students preparing for the primary exit profile exam to practice with. They can talk to the device, whatever device it is, if it's a smartphone, tablet, a Google Home device, or a smart TV, once it's Android. And it asks them questions and they can respond by either typing or talking to the phone.
Talk to PEP Tutor. Sure, let's get PEP Tutor.
The idea came out of a discussion that was on Twitter where persons were complaining about the exam, how difficult it is and how difficult it is to find questions to practice. So, being in IT and always trying to use technology to solve problems, I decided to use technology to try to help them. Currently we have science, mathematics and language arts, and we're working on adding social studies and the ability questions. Before now, I got questions from the practice exams that the students were using to prepare for the PEP exam. And now I have a teacher from my primary school, which is Wakefield Primary School. She's assisting me to put the questions together because I'm not a teacher, I don't know how to test students. So she's preparing the questions and I'm just adding them to it. The app works by simply asking the students questions, and it asks multiple choice questions and short answer questions. So if a parent can sit and go through the questions with the student, if the answer that is provided by the student is incorrect, the app will tell the student that the answer is incorrect and tell them which one is correct or which answer is the correct answer. It doesn't show you how to work out the questions. So if it's a maths question and it says 2 + 3 is 5, it won't show you how to add 2 and 3, but it tells you that the answer is 5 and whatever answer you gave is incorrect. Just like any other exam, is to keep the students practicing constantly. You don't want to wait until the last minute, and put them under additional stress and pressure. So from September, or even before, during whatever holidays, to have the students, go through the different subject areas, sit with them on the weekends, and help them to get prepared. The PEP app will definitely assist students right across the board, whether they're rich, poor, or whether they're in the country or in town, getting better results in the PEP exams. I believe the PEP Tutor app will assist in us achieving our Vision 2030 goal by making access to education a lot easier for students, whether in Kingston or whether in urban or rural areas. And I think, by utilizing technology, will make learning more fun for students, and they will eventually do better.
If you've ever wondered what your property taxes are used for, wonder no more. Your property taxes provide revenue for the provision of public and community amenities throughout Jamaica, which are delivered by local government officials. When you pay your property taxes, you aid with the maintenance and expansion of our street lighting to ensure you are not walking in the dark at nights, the collection and disposal of solid waste to prevent the pileup of garbage in communities, the improvement of our community infrastructure, and repairs to fire stations and service vehicles, along with rehabilitation of our roads. Pay your property taxes online, in line, or via mobile tax units and avoid being sought by the government. For more information, visit the Tax Administration website at www.jamaicatax.gov.jm or call 876-902-9463.
With examinations like PEP, CXC, and CAPE coming up, here are a few tips that will help to improve your study mindset. The first one, think positively when you study and remind yourself of your skills and abilities. Number 2, avoid catastrophic thinking. So instead of thinking, I'll never have enough time to study for this exam, look at it like, I may be a little late to study as much as I like, but since I'm doing it now, I'll get the most out of it. Number 3, avoid absolute thinking. Instead of beating yourself up when you don't do well, change your mindset and start saying, I didn't do so well that time. What can I do to improve? Number 4, avoid comparing yourself with others, because usually you just end up feeling bad about yourself. Your skills and abilities are unique to you and you alone. Follow these 4 simple steps when studying and enhance your educational careers, as we aim to make Jamaica the place of choice to live, work, raise families, and do business.
A common practice while socializing, celebrating, or just relaxing is the consumption of alcohol. To some, this is second nature.
All too common also are the negative effects that drinking has on the human body. While occasional drinking is not necessarily a problem, it's the excessive intake that can have severe consequences.
The effects of too much alcohol consumption include blurred vision, breathing problems, impaired judgment, concentration problems, slurred speech, and of course, addiction resulting from long-term use. Now, these effects may vary based on a variety of factors, such as how much you drink, how often you drink, your age, health status, and family history.
Alcohol use does not have to be reckless. Here are some tips to practice responsible drinking.
Plan ahead. If you plan on drinking at an event, get a designated driver.
Shoulder.
Yeah.
Set your own limit. Know how much is too much.
Know your family history. If you come from a family with a history of alcohol dependence, you might want to limit your drinking.
Remember, responsible drinking is a very simple thing.
Thanks for watching another edition of Jamaica Magazine. Join us again tomorrow when we'll do this all over again. Send your feedback on today's show to jamaicamagazine@jis.gov.jm. Also, follow us on our social media pages and download our app on your Apple and Android devices. And you can also visit our website at jis.gov.jm for more information. On behalf of the entire production crew, I'm Theodore Henry. Thanks for watching.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.
Hey guys! guys, I'm Candy and welcome to Chill Spot, Jamaica's ultimate leisure show. This season promises to reveal some of the hidden treasures of the lifestyle industry by taking you to the chill spots of some of Jamaica's most brilliant business minds, giving you a glimpse into how they choose to unwind and just pull a vibe. You won't want to miss what happens next. Stay tuned.
You're watching Business Access TV.
Business Access TV.
Business Access.
Business Access TV.
Serious.
Serious.
Serious about business.
The Jamaica Stock Exchange Best Practices Awards was established in 2004 to emphasize best practices within businesses. We're here at the Jamaica Pegasus celebrating with some of these organizations. I am Tamar McHale with Business Access TV. Stay tuned for more. It's cocktail hour, and that of course means mingling. Let's catch up with some of the guests at the Jamaica Stock Exchange Best Practices Awards ceremony. And it's always a pleasure catching up with Mrs. Marling Street Forrest, Managing Director of the Jamaica Stock Exchange. Pleasure to have you with us on Business Access TV.
Always a pleasure too.
All right, so why is it important to have a Best Practices Award?
It is important because companies can be benchmarked against good practices or excellent practices. And after they do that, they also can benefit from being recognized by their peers and by the Jamaica Stock Exchange in respect to a job well done.
I'm now joined by Mr. Neva Ying, Committee Chair of the Jamaica Stock Exchange Best Practices Awards. It's a pleasure to have you joining with us.
A pleasure again with Business Access TV.
What are some of the things that you are looking for in these businesses to select those which have the best practices?
Well, as the committee name suggests, we're looking for international best practices in different categories. So look at things like their annual reports. We'll look at their website. We'll look at how well they relate with their customers. And we look at, in some cases, how much business they bring to the stock exchange in terms of number of companies listed. Companies take it very seriously. The rivalry is very keen. And they value it a lot because if you look after the awards in terms of advertisements and how they use it to brand their companies, you'll see that they place a great deal of importance on how they place in these competitions.
Any changes tonight, any changes moving forward for the JSC Best Practices Award?
Well, every year we have something new that we add. So, for instance, next year we'll be taking a closer look at the website because, you know, as technology changes, the websites are performing a different role from before. I mean, a lot of people are now into using the internet to get information. So whereas in the past you'd be reading documents, hard copies, now you're going to the internet for information. So companies have to respond to that. So we'll be taking a close look at that. We'll be looking at things like the attention they pay to risk management, which is very important in this era because it's very tricky running a business now. And so the people who survive are those who are willing to take risk, and then they eventually make profits.
Well, I understand that the competition is stiff this evening, among the companies. What do you think has caused this stiff competition?
Well, everybody wants to be recognized by the best performing stock exchange in the world. I mean, the fact is that competition is always good, and nobody wants to be second. So, hence, everybody strives to be number one with regards to what the stock exchange has put out as a criteria for being best performing in whatever category they are looking at.
Okay. And moving forward, what changes is the stock exchange making to be even bigger and better?
Well, we recently transitioned to the NASDAQ transactional platform, which is world-renowned, and that should augur well for the improvement in our efficiencies at the exchange. That's one thing. And we're also looking at other initiatives out of Canada, which will allow us to have knowledge transfer, technology transfer from the Canadian Stock Exchange, which will make the stock exchange actually, if there's something better than number one, we probably gonna get it.
Amazing. Well, congratulations. Keep up the good work.
Okay, thank you very much.
So the beautiful Dr. Nsombe Jaja is a member of the Jamaica Stock Exchange Best Practice Award Committee. It is a pleasure to have you joining us with Business Access TV. Tell us, how do you think this award has really raised the bar in terms of what is expected from companies?
You know, I've been a member of the committee for over 10 years now, and I am amazed to see the difference year by year and the improvements that have taken place in the companies. Their level of reporting in their annual reports, much more engaging, much crisper, easier to read, better quality information, and you can actually see it in other areas that are assessed, like the website, governance committee, best performing companies, and the criteria that we look at for those organizations. A couple of areas that I'm really very glad to see the improvement in is risk management, environmental management, human resources management, and corporate social responsibilities. I'm really very pleased to see how much attention the organizations are paying in those areas, and it's just raising the bar and upping the games of the organizations that participate. So congratulations, those of you who are winners this year, and those of you who have not yet won, keep on raising the standard so that you'll be a winner.
So tonight, Best Practices Award of the Jamaica Stock Exchange. What do you think of this award ceremony? How important do you think it is?
It's very important. You know, it's the 15th year, so it's a big night, and we're very happy for the Jamaica Stock Exchange. And for us, we always see it as something that gives us an opportunity to pause, not only as listed companies, which JMMB is, but as member dealers, brokers, which we are also, to just celebrate and acknowledge each other. You know, the stock exchange has been doing amazing. They have ended another year being the top performing stock exchange in the world, and that's nothing to scoff at. So we're very happy to be here to celebrate this night.
Okay, so what has JMMB been doing to improve on their best practices to be among the top world-class, you know, Jamaica Stock Exchange, as you just mentioned?
Well, lots of stuff. You know, my head of compliance always has us on our toes, you know. So we're always looking at, you know, what do we need to do to be better? So starting with the information that we put out there, we have an active research team that makes sure that timely and accurate information hits the market in terms of our disclosure practices, how timely they are, how frequently they happen, and again, what kind of information do we put out there. It's all part of the whole ecosystem of, again, being a listed company. Yes, there's that aspect of the disclosure, but how are we supporting the investing public as a broker by helping them to make wise investment decisions, again, through the information that we put out there about the other listed companies also. So we're very busy, but we're excited, and, you know, win, lose, or draw, we're just happy to be a part of this event as we have been for the last 15 years.
Okay, thank you very much, and all the best tonight.
Thanks, Tamara. Appreciate it.
I'm now joined by Mr. Zachary Harding, Group Chief Executive Officer of the Stocks and Securities Limited, SSL. Tell us, what are some of the best practices that your company has implemented, has been emphasizing?
Sure. So the main thing that we're focusing on is customer service. Obviously, we have no business if we have no customers. So nothing matters what products we have, what other special things we're doing. Doesn't matter unless we can serve our customers in an appropriate way. So a lot of training has gone in to making sure that the team is at a level where they can understand all of the products and services that we have and be able to answer all the questions that our investors and clients will have. So the main focus is just on people.
So just as we're about to wrap up this cocktail hour, I'm joined by Ms. Greta Bogues, and she is one of the committee members of the Jamaica Stock Exchange Best Practices Awards. A pleasure to have you with us.
Thank you very much. Delighted to be here.
Okay, so tell us about the awards process for the corporate governance aspect, because I understand that that's the area that you're in charge of.
Thank you very much. Yes, I actually chair the corporate governance committee for the awards, and it's a very, very, very interesting process because, as you know, this particular process is a volunteer. So we don't actually, or companies I say, they have to submit applications, and then we go through a process to evaluate what they have submitted. So they have a questionnaire that they need to complete, and then they submit that with a lot of their governance documents. We look also at the annual report, and we also look at the website, because our objective is to ensure that the spirit of corporate governance is being practiced in the organization, and also very important that they're complying with the regulations and legislation as stipulated by the stock exchange rules.
Okay. And my final question, because as we award this evening those who are the top of the top, what advice would you give to those who you feel they need to make some improvements?
Well, I think that we've come a very far way in these best practice awards. And one thing that research has shown actually is that the more we actually have these awards where we recognize peers, the more persons become very interested in being a part of it. And as actually I find the environment very competitive. I find the listed companies very competitive. But one thing I would say to all listed companies, make sure you abide by the rules. The rules are very stated clearly in the rule book, but more importantly, what shareholders, stakeholders are asking for is disclosure and transparency. And therefore, if you can do that, that's the start of the journey to be in the top for the Best Practice Awards.
This wraps up the cocktail segment of the Jamaica Stock Exchange Best Practices Award. But the show has only begun. When we return, we head to the main stage.
Great design is not only how things look, but also how well they work. The GLC, more than meets the eye.
Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the JSE Best Practices Awards 2018. I am Dr. Terry Carell-Reid. It is a pleasure to serve as your MC for this evening. In about June, I had the pleasure of chairing the 50th Anniversary Awards here at the Jamaica Pegasus. And I had the opportunity of saying that it was quite an honor for a number of reasons. Number one, I transitioned from being a saver to an investor. And I did it because of a very good friend of mine, my broker, Ryan Strawn, who I think is here today. Very handsome gentleman. And he came and he took me out of my wicked ways and he said, Terry, let us make you some money. So I was a conservative investor, and he held my hand and he took me through, and now Ryan sends me WhatsApp messages saying, Terry, send on 500,000, we're gonna buy some stock. I'm to get that money to you, Ryan. Good to see you. So I am the first person to actually start investing in my family, but it didn't stop there. My daughter turned 7, March the 1st, and I decided to open up a portfolio for her, and again, Ryan helped me with that, just because I wanted to be something that is generational in terms of financial literacy. But then it was an honor because I remember Bloomberg had stated really early in the year, from January, I think, that the Jamaica Stock Exchange was the best, the world's best performing stock exchange. So in June, I remember saying at the 50th Anniversary Awards that was rich, real rich. Now, in this last quarter, I happened to follow the Jamaica Stock Exchange on Instagram, and if you're not following them, you need to. I think it's one of the coolest accounts you could follow. I'm seeing the Canadian Securities Exchange. I see Marlene Street Forrest and her team. They're in Canada. They're on the New York Stock Exchange. They're ringing the bell over here. They're ringing the bell over there. She's on Bloomberg TV. And I said, but I can't say it's rich. This is what we call opulent. Opulent. seeing the Jamaican flag flown high at the New York Stock Exchange. I don't know if you saw the images. I couldn't have been prouder. And then most recently, I believe it was the NASDAQ tower that again said, congratulations, JSE. The JSE Go Live is there, and you guys are doing such big things. So again, I am here, I am standing here as a proud investor. I'm standing here as a very proud Jamaican to be your MC for this evening. I recognize this lady as a superstar because that is who she is. She is an absolute leader, and we've had the privilege of seeing her and her team do a tour. She always speaks so highly of the Jamaica Stock Exchange, of our businesses, our brokers, and the entire ecosystem. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for the Managing Director of JSE, Mrs. Marlene Street Forrest.
Tonight is priceless. And so it is really an honor and indeed a privilege to welcome you to this, our 15th Best Practices Awards ceremony. We are more excited about this evening than in the prior years, as unlike the others, this year we celebrate a momentous occasion. 15 years of unshakable dedication of all our stakeholders to the vision and purpose of these awards. Traditionally, 15th anniversaries are marked by crystals or watches. These gifts signify that this anniversary means that we have a better understanding of our purpose, and though time has passed, there's every intention that the clock will continue to tick for another 15 years. I'm sure you'll forgive me, though, if I make a slight segue and shine the spotlight on the JSE itself, which is marking its 50th year. I firstly want to give thanks for the enormous international exposure we have received throughout the year. Some of the accolades with which we were showered include being named the best performing exchange for 2018, coinciding with the period under which these awards are adjudged. We were also named top performing exchange in number 5, continuing in 2019, and we will see where the year will end. In Europe, we were bestowed with the honor of the European CEO Awards for the most innovative exchange for 2019. During the year, we were overwhelmed with gratitude, particularly by the fire lit by Jamaica diasporans who have been encouraged to invest in our market. This ignited a real desire by external markets and people everywhere to learn a bit more about Jamaica, not only the Jamaica Stock Exchange, but Jamaica. No doubt that this makes best practices even more critical. The world's financial community must see us as leading the charge for best practices in and good governance of our companies. There is a weight on every company here this evening to ensure that there is best practice in its organization and good governance, because the world is looking. This year, too, there was phenomenal and record attendance, over 2,000 persons at our National Investor Education Week open house, where the focus again was investing in companies. I'm doing a little promotion here as well, because on the regional conference in 2020, our focus again will be on market development and sustainability of companies. Now, as we mark this significant occasion of our 15th JSE Best Practices Awards, we feel sure that we have etched in the minds of our stakeholders that these awards are important and that they are coming from a long time before best practices was a popular thing to work towards and even talk about. We believe that the JSE Best Practices Awards push companies to embrace high standards and encourage them to apply these standards across their organization. We expect among these things, best practices will improve workplace skills, reduce waste, and foster greater efficiency in the use of technology. As you know, the Jamaica Stock Exchange is big on technology. We have gone to NASDAQ, and next year you will be seeing us reaching out to companies more in terms of utilizing the system. Best practices, however, are ever evolving, and so will continue to be relevant, just like these awards. They are meant to light the way and help keep us focused on the important objectives of giving of our best in critical areas of business, which have been so judged and for which we are eagerly anticipating this evening. As we continue to promote the importance of companies upholding the best practices within their organizations, tonight's event is simply a way of saying that we recognize that your companies have been doing it right. Tonight represents an avenue where your colleagues and competitors can share that you are being recognized for your excellence and your quest for perfection. We recognize that emphasis on best practices change, and we must change with them. So, in terms of the JSC and the committees, we must take a closer look at the impact of, and also of the companies, impact of social sectors, and we are asking our companies to look at things like climate change, cybercrime, and issues of diversity in the workplace. As we become more global players, these are key components of the best-in-class companies. We are assured that as our committee prepares for the next 15 years, that we will not be left behind, but we will remain just as relevant as we are when we started 15 years ago. To our listed companies and member dealers, we want to say thanks again for making a market of which we can all be proud as our position, the best performing exchange in the world, to a large extent, is as a result of your work. Your performance allows the exchange to speak confidently on the world stage of your commitment to your organization and these awards. Once again, it is my pleasure to welcome you all to this awards ceremony. We have much to be thankful for. You honor your peers and us with your presence and the support of our efforts, and for this, we are truly thankful. As I close, I want to briefly reflect on the historic moment when we raised the Jamaican flag at the New York Stock Exchange and promoted Jamaica through the Bloomberg Channel earlier this year. We would like you to help us to keep that flag flying. Welcome, everyone.
At this time, I'd like you to kindly direct your attention to the screens as we learn more about the Best Practices Awards.
The Best Practices Awards was established in 2004 to bring an emphasis on what is good practices in organizations. It was also established to ensure that there was a dialogue between the companies and their stakeholders. We also wanted to ensure that we had a dialogue with companies that are listed on the exchange. There are 6 categories of awards. These are Best Practices Awards in corporate disclosure and investor relations, Best Practices in website, annual report, Best Performing Company, and also the coveted award, which is the Governor General's Award. We also have the Best Practices Award in relation to member dealers. It has been an exciting period for the last 15 years because what has happened is that companies are excited in terms of vying with each other for these awards, getting the coveted awards that happen each year. And what we have found is that because of these awards, companies have now continued to do of their best, benchmarking to international standards. And the level of activity and communication has grown over the years. We also have people who are committed to judging these awards. These are independent persons who have given up their time. So we have persons drawn from the universities, we have persons drawn from corporate Jamaica, and also those whose skill sets are best used in the areas in the different categories. The overall objective of the award is to ensure that our companies move from one stage of their operation to another. Best practices will percolate throughout the entire company, ensuring that companies grow and to allow for sustainability. And sustainability is important to growth and development.
We take our first break from our coverage of the Jamaica Stock Exchange Best Practices Awards. This is Business Access TV. Keep watching.
Dodge & Global Marketing Strategy Consulting. Marketing isn't a department, it's a system. Having an integrated and cohesive marketing plan allows each marketing technique to support the others, thereby creating a synergy of branding and growth for your business. Dodge & Global can assist you in making smart decisions with lasting value in regard to the following key decisions. Determine if there is a paying market for your products and services. Craft long-term and short-term marketing goals. Define marketing campaigns. Create marketing strategies. Select powerful marketing techniques to reach your audience. Choose a brand and image that reflects your core message. Design marketing materials. Design internet marketing strategies. Track marketing results to determine the strongest techniques. Because it's so important to create an integrated marketing strategy that will bring in business. Get advice and mentoring from people who are already successful marketing experts. Our team can help you make smarter, more effective decisions. Let's have a conversation. Contact us at email info@dodgen.global. Website https://dodgen.global.
Again, I'm going to ask you to kindly turn your attention to the screens as we hear from Professor Neville Ying, Chairman of the Best Practices Committee.
Ladies and gentlemen, 2018 was a fantastic year for the Jamaica Stock Exchange and, by extension, all listed companies and brokerage houses. At the end of 2018 and on the cusp of 2019, when the Jamaica Stock Exchange celebrates its 50th anniversary, the Stock Exchange was cited by Bloomberg as the #1 best performing stock exchange in the world. We're all excited and pleased about this result and this ranking because it shows that best practices are paying handsome dividends. Our companies have embraced best practices and as a result are doing well. And when our companies do well, the stock exchange does well. We have seen what profits have done for investor confidence. We now need to give equal focus to the people dimension of sustainable development. We at the Jamaica Stock Exchange have committed to do something about this. We were therefore very pleased in January 2019 when the Prime Minister, the Most Honourable Andrew Holness, launched a bold initiative of the Jamaica Stock Exchange, which is the Jamaica Social Stock Exchange. The Jamaica Stock Exchange is putting to use through this initiative the value proposition that sustainable growth of the social sector is good for business. The projects the Jamaica Stock Exchange has selected to start this new venture are as follows. The Deaf Can Coffee Project, This project focuses on training and employment for the deaf persons. Choose Life International Project, which is seeking to reduce the sharp rise in the incidence of suicides in our society. Jamming Music Studio Project, which focuses on music and the profession of music to create an alternative pathway to crime and violence. Spring Praise Jamaica Project, which seeks to reverse the antisocial behavior of young people and encourage children to start saving early. Alpha School of Music Project, which focuses on redirecting young men through music and spiritual and remedial education. The game plan is to provide these projects with financial and technical assistance to enable them to grow into financially self-sufficient social business enterprises. We invite you to partner with the Jamaica Social Stock Exchange, that together Jamaica can establish a new international benchmark, which is the balancing of social and economic development. Let me return to the Best Practices Awards. Ladies and gentlemen, we have seen marked improvement in all the areas that we have assessed. And we would like to take the opportunity to thank all the companies for the hard work that they have done, and in so doing, embracing international best practices. I want to pause at this point to offer heartiest congratulations to Mrs. Marlene Street Forrest for the important leadership that she has been given to the Jamaica Stock Exchange. The crowning moment for me was when she appeared on Bloomberg TV to speak about the Jamaica Stock Exchange. She represented our country very well, and we are proud of her, and she should take a bow for this. Finally, and very important, I would like to thank members of the Best Practices Awards Committee for their professional, technical, and dedicated services. We are grateful and give profound thanks to the team at the Jamaica Stock Exchange, who remains behind the scene, but whose contributions are invaluable and indispensable in allowing our work to flow smoothly. Please enjoy our celebration of excellent performance this evening.
Now, these are gifts for the committee members. We'd just like to say thank you so very much for your dedicated service. So let us hear it from Miss Greta Bogues, Mrs. Lisa Bell, Dr. Nsombe Jaja, Mrs. Alicia Hussey, Mrs. Marlene Street Forrest, Dr. Janice Simmons Fisher as well. The next person is Miss Roxanne Miller. Let us hear it from Mrs. Antoinette McCain, Miss Andrea Kelly, Miss Gabrielle Grant. These were the ladies on the committee, and we thank the chairman of the Stock Exchange, Mr. Ian McNaughton, for being our presenter. We now welcome Mrs. Marlene Street Forrest, Managing Director of the JSE, to be the presenter or to present the tokens to the gentlemen who served on the committee. Now let us hear it for the man with a very deep voice, Professor Neville Ying. And following Professor Neville Ying is Mr. Errol Anderson. And he'll be followed by Mr. Christopher Povell. Let us say hello to Mr. Ricardo Allen. Let us hear it from Mr. Alvaro Casterly. Thank you for your service, sir. Mr. David Hall, Mr. Nigel Koch, Dr. Andre Horton. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Michael Johnson. Last but not least, Dr. William Lawrence.
If you're just joining us, you would have missed the presentation of awards to committee members, but no need to worry, as you are just in time for the presentation of the Jamaica Stock Exchange Best Practices Awards.
Sundays at 4:30 p.m. It's all about Home Sweet Home. Get your half-hour dose of the business of real estate, from laws and concepts to reality, building, buying, or renting. Or what about trends in decor or renovations? Home Sweet Home will keep you up to date.
You guys are troublemakers on this side. How are we? We're fabulous? Have we had, excuse me? I just threw this thing on. So here's the thing. I take extreme pride in finding an outfit that that aligns with the brand colors of the particular event. So the first dress had the blue and the black, because blue is the Jamaica Stock Exchange color and the black is the wording, Jamaica Stock Exchange. But then I said, you know what? I've never done this before. In fact, I only change my outfits if it's a TV show and it's like a grand finale. So this is actually the very first time I'm doing a wardrobe change, and I'm calling it the Jamaica Stock Exchange. To my co-host, I hope you're ready. So we are getting into the announcement of awards, and it is an honor to welcome my co-host for this evening. Please put your hands together for Mr. Ricardo Allen, CEO of One and One and member of the Best Practices Committee. How you doing?
Thank you so much.
It's good to see you.
Dr. Terry Carell Reed.
It's a pleasure. You're looking sharp.
Thank you so much.
Good. All right. So we are getting ready. Best Practices Awards 2018 Member Dealers Award. We will begin by recognizing the member dealers. The member dealers are given awards in several categories. The first category is in revenue generation and market activity. In this category, the JSE will recognize member dealers that, one, during the year, traded the most value on the exchange, and two, participated in JSE's programs. I would like to invite Senator Dr. Andre Horton, Senior Lecturer at UA, to present the first award. And the winner in this category is NCB Capital Markets Limited. Congratulations to NCB Capital Markets Limited.
And our next award goes to Investor Relations Stock Brokerage. This award recognizes the member dealer that consistently exceeds customer expectation by providing excellent customer service. I'd like to invite Mrs. Street Forest just to join us on stage to present this award. Give her a round of applause for me, guys. We'll first announce the second runner-up. JMMB Securities Limited. Congratulations, JMMB. Our first runner-up for this year's Investor Relations Stock Brokerage Award goes to Sagicor Investment Jamaica Limited. To our winner of the Investor Relations Stock Brokerage Award, I'll now invite, am I getting my drum roll? Jane Fund Managers, congratulations.
The next presentation is the JSE Member Dealers Award for Best Website. This award is given to encourage member dealers to raise the quality and efficiency of the dissemination of information to the investing public via the website. To present these awards, I call on former custos of St. Andrew, Mrs. Marigold Harding. Please make her welcome. Second runner-up. Actually, it's a tie. The second runners-up are Sagicor Investment Limited and JMMB Securities Limited. We invite Sagicor Investments Limited to collect the award. I see the beautiful Alicia. Congratulations. This is in the category of Best Website. And this is JMB Securities Limited. The beautiful Karen Stimson. Oh, that's a fabulous dress. In the category of Best Website is Victoria Mutual Wealth Management Limited. And the winner for the JSE Member Dealers Award for Best Website is Barita Investments Limited for the second year running. Congratulations for the second year running. Congratulations to the runners-up as well as the winner. Good job. Thank you so very much, Mrs. Harding.
Now on to our next award. Our next category will be awarded for expansion of investors and listed companies base. This award recognizes member dealer that has increased the number of clients in the JCSD and listed the most companies in 2018. To present these awards, I invite Mr. Nigel Cook to join me on stage, chairman of the Member Dealers Committee. Just give him a round of applause while he comes up. So for this category, we have a second runner-up. The second runner-up for the expansion of investors and listed companies base is NCB Cap Market. Congrats, Steve and team. Now on to our winners. And for this category, we have joint winners, right? They did so well, we could not separate them. The winners for the expansion of investors and listed company base are JMB and Sagicor Investment Limited.
Congratulations. The Jamaica Stock Exchange's Member Dealers overall winner is the Chairman's Award. To present this award, we call on the chairman of the Jamaica Stock Exchange, Mr. Ian McNaughton, to present the Chairman's Award for the top member dealer. Please make him welcome. The Chairman's Award for the top member dealer goes to He did it twice because we do have joint winners. Sagicor Investments Jamaica Limited, XCB Capital Market.
Now, we're about to shift gears a bit. We're going to move on to our Best Practices Award for 2018. Now, this award is given to encourage publicly listed companies to produce clearer, more reader-friendly annual reports that provide greater insight into the company's financial affairs, governance practices, and business activities. To present the award for Best Annual Report, I now invite Mr. Casserly to join us on stage. Now, we had some really good annual reports this year. If I can say so myself, being a part of the committee, and I must tell you that these companies that are selected here would have been winners, yes, but it doesn't say the others weren't great. All of them, we got some really good ones. So, you know, we've lifted the standards, and I want to say congratulations just about to everyone, all right? Very good job. Now, our second runner-up for this category goes to Lasco Manufacturing Limited. Now, our first runner-up for this category goes to Lasco Distributors Limited. So we've had Lasco Manufacturing, Lasco Distributors, and guess who the winners are? Drum roll for me. Caribbean Producers Jamaica Limited. Now that we've gotten the Junior Market awards for best annual reports out of the way, let's move on to the main market. Now for this market, we had a joint second runner-up. We have two persons, actually, two companies being represented here. Drum roll. Jamaica Producers Limited and NCB Financial Group. Congratulations. For our winners, for the best annual report among companies listed on the main market, I now present, drum roll, Grace Kennedy Limited. Congratulations, Don and team, on this award.
Congratulations to the awardees so far at the Jamaica Stock Exchange Best Practices Awards ceremony. But stay tuned, more winners to be announced when we return.
Cargo Handlers Limited. So we now enter the main market awards. First runner-up is Salado Foods Jamaica Limited. Congratulations to Salado Foods. This is for the main market awards in the category Best Performing Company, looking at areas of capital efficiency, profitability, and direct return on share holdings. And now it's time to find out who our winner is in the main market. The winner is Carreras Limited.
Now on to our next award. Next up is the Corporate Disclosure and Investor Relations Award. Now this award serves to recognize companies that maintain good investor relations with the wider investing public and make timely and accurate reports and announcements available to the JSE. For this award, we have our second runner-up. The second runner-up for Corporate Disclosure and Investor Relations goes to Paramount Trading Jamaica Limited. The first runner-up for this award goes to Lasco Financial Services Limited. For the Corporate Disclosure and Investor Relations Award goes to Onibun, second year winning. For the main market, we have our second runner-ups going to Grace Kennedy Limited.
Steve, how are you doing?
Terry, I think your dress making me nervous.
Don't blame me. Don't listen. Leave me out of it. Leave me out of it. Congratulations, Grace Kennedy Limited. Ryan, I see you. Ryan Boo, I see you. Back to Steve.
The first runner-up for corporate disclosure and investor relation goes to NCB Financial Group. In the corporate disclosure and investor relation awards, JMB Group.
Next presentation, Best Practices Website. This award seeks to encourage listed companies to raise the quality and efficiency of the dissemination of information to the investing public via their website. To present these awards, I call on Professor Neville Ying, Chairman, Best Practices Committee, to present these awards. Second runner-up is Lasco Financial Services Limited. First runner-up, Junior Market, is Caribbean Producers Jamaica Limited, CPJ. Who will be the winner in the Junior Market? And the winner is Lasco Manufacturing Limited. Second runner-up is NCB Financial Group Limited. The first runner-up is Barita Investments Limited. Congratulations. And the winner in the main market subcategory is Mayberry Investments Limited. Congratulations, Mayberry.
Our next award will be for PSOJ JC Corporate Governance. This award seeks to recognize companies that demonstrate and practice outstanding corporate governance. To present these awards, I call on Ms. Greta Bogues, the chairperson of the PSOJ JC Corporate Governance Committee, to present. And the winner for the PSOJ JC Corporate Governance Award goes to Onibon. Now, on to our main market. For the second runner-up, first time being awarded tonight. I wonder who it is. Scotia Group Jamaica Limited. To our first runner-up for Corporate Governance Award, we now invite, drum roll, the Grace Kennedy Limited. Congrats, Grace. And for the winner of the PSOJ JC Corporate Governance Award, we invite the NCB Financial Group.
And now for the moment you have all been waiting for. The Governor General Award for Excellence will be presented by Mrs. Marlene Street Forrest. In the Junior Market category, JSC's Junior Market Best Practices Award overall winner is Lasco Manufacturing Jamaica Limited. JSE's Junior Market Best Practices Award, the Governor General Award for Excellence, the main market. It is a tie between Grace Kennedy Limited and NCB Financial Group Limited. Congratulations to all the nominees, certainly all the awardees, all the winners. Without all of you, the Jamaica Stock Exchange would not be performing so well. So thank you for implementing best practices. Thank you so very much.
This is Jennifer MacDonald, CEO of the PSOJ. You're watching BATV, serious about business.
Grace Kennedy were major winners here tonight. Tell us what these awards are for.
Thank you very much. We won the award for the best annual report, which we are so happy with because we have been working so hard on our annual report to improve it to really world-class standard. So this is actually the first time that we have won the best annual report. And this is the big award here. This is the Governor General's Award, which is for the best company on the stock exchange, which we won jointly with the NCB. The last time we won this award was 2004. So that's 15 years ago. So tonight is a very special occasion, and I'm sure all the Grace Kennedy staff tomorrow are going to be so happy that we have worked so hard and we have been recognized by the Jamaica Stock Exchange.
That's really amazing. So what did Grace Kennedy do this time to make sure that they copped the top award tonight?
Well, we've just been focusing on great corporate governance. We've been focused on doing well as a company in terms of improving our profitability and revenue. You may have heard that we have set ourselves a target to have revenues of 100 billion by 2022, the first Jamaican company, and I can say to you, we are on track, if not ahead of track. We keep innovating. We want to be a global consumer group. We are in Canada, USA, Europe, UK. So we're just being very focused to our vision and trying to realize that vision by staying and working hard.
Okay, congratulations and keep up the fabulous work.
Thanks a lot, much appreciated.
So I'm here with the Mayberry investment team, and boy, they are smiles all around. Congratulations. Tell us how you feel and what award did you get tonight?
Oh, thank you very much. We're feeling elated. We won for the main market best website for 2018.
Okay, so what did you do to get the best website?
Visit our website, www.mayberryinvestment.com.
All right. Any new developments for 2020?
Yeah, we are really excited in rolling out our new technologies on our new platform that we are currently working assiduously to get first to market with. Okay. So look out for it.
All right, congratulations. Thank you. Catching up with another awardee from tonight's event, and this is of course Barita Investments. Tell us what award you won tonight.
Well, tonight I'm holding here our award for the best member dealer website. We're very proud of this. And what's more amazing is that we've just upgraded our website to be even better. So we'll be back next year.
Here with Honeybun, and they are double awardees tonight. Congratulations. Tell us what the two awards are for.
This is for corporate investor relationship, and this one is for corporate governance.
And what did Honeybun do to come out as the winners in these categories tonight?
We're repeat winners, you know. We won the same awards last year.
So what have you been doing then to keep the success going?
We follow up, just keep on trying to do your best all the time and keep on following up with what we have done. And yeah, they keep coming.
So I'm here with Mr. Carreras, one of the big winners here tonight. Congratulations. Tell us what your award for.
Thank you very much. We won the best performing company in the main market. Yeah.
And what did you do to stand out to be the top winners in that category?
To be honest, I mean, Carreras is accustomed to winning this particular award. Last year we were the second runner-up, and the team said, listen, we need to go and reclaim our award. So what we did, we ensured that we looked at the right things, and we were able to deliver more to the shareholders and deliver some EPS growth, and we were rewarded handsomely for it. So we're back in the winning category, and we really feel good about that.
NCB, one of the big winners here tonight. I see you don't have your award because your team left with it, but tell us about some of the awards that you copped tonight.
Okay, so for NCB Capital Markets, we won an award for market generation, and we were joint overall winners in terms of member broker-dealer. And on the listed company side, we NCB Financial Group won quite a few awards, but they also won the Chairman's Award for Excellence. That's the overall main market award.
And so how do you feel about copying these awards?
Great. We did well last year, and we did well again this year. So it's a very proud feeling.
It has been quite an eventful evening. Congratulations to all the nominees and special congratulations to the winners. This has been Business Access TV's coverage of the Jamaica Stock Exchange Best Practices Awards. I am Tamara McHale signing out for Business Access TV, serious about business.
us. Business Access TV offers you the most innovative and effective advertising solution for your business, specializing in B2B sales, cost-effective solutions, the customers you want, the repetition you need. No matter the size and nature of your company, your business matters.
Call us at 876-291-6233 or 876-376-4225. Email sales@batvja.com.
My name is Kamala McWinney. I'm the CEO of White Lotus Bridal Boutique and Design House. I started to mess around with YouTube videos, doing do-it-yourself craft projects, and I decided to make a hair clip. And I shared it with friends. They liked it. I started to make more. And then people started to order. At the time, I was an entrepreneur getting trained at the Branson Center of Entrepreneurship, Caribbean, in Montego Bay. And through networking, we got our first store space. Having our first location at Old Hope Road. So we were doing predominantly handmade accessories, bridal accessories mostly. So I thought to myself, most of my clients are getting married, so why not add the bridal gowns to the offerings? And so we started with 10 dresses, and that was back in 2012, and here we are today. This one is a size 14 mermaid by Maury Lee. We offer rental and sale of bridal gowns, and we also offer customized handmade bridal accessories, which include traditional veils, birdcage veils, feather fascinators, bridal belts, garters, and we also do cocktail hats for formal events as well. We cater to a woman who wants to stand out, because a lot of our gowns are not cookie cutter in terms of the styles of them. We have colored gowns, we have some with a touch of blush pink, some with hints of gold and so forth. So we cater to a wide cross-section of women, but we also have, offerings that will be suited for a woman who definitely wants to make a statement. I actually used personal funds for the first push to start everything. I used that money to buy a lot of raw materials for the accessories, as well as to acquire our first 10 bridal gowns. Well, we like to choose them bearing in mind what the average sizes of most brides is. So we kind of do it around that kind of a curve. We have most women being about an 8 or 10, but we also like to make sure that we have gowns for plus-size women, because everybody needs to feel beautiful. So we currently go up to a size 22. Yeah, so we have from size 2 to 22 currently. And of course, in terms of styles, we definitely like to have styles that most people will go for, traditional. So we have white, of course, we have the mermaid shapes, we have ball gowns, but we also have a pop of color on some of the gowns, because not everybody likes the traditional white gown. So we like to be a little bit different as well. We are right on the brink of profitability, so we're really excited about that part of it. We have one location that opened last year, May, that's in Fairview, Montego Bay. It's at Summit Business Center, and we just moved into Eden Gardens in December of 2015. So those are our two locations currently. Well, the Montego Bay location was selected because Fairview is like the thriving, center, the heart of Montego Bay. So we wanted to be as close as possible to the action. So we selected Summit Business Center, which is right there in Fairview. This location, we came to Eden Gardens, I think 2 years ago, for a fashion showcase put on by Helen G. And I love Eden Gardens. So I decided to, try that option. of opening a space here because it's very accessible for those who are coming from Kingston as well as from Portmore, St. Catherine and so forth. So it's definitely a plus in terms of location. We're very big on relationships, so we like a very intimate setup. So we like to feel people out. So Nikisha, who is our boutique manager here at Eden Gardens, she's actually a friend. She has been a friend for many years. I know her through church, and so it was a perfect fit. I knew her skill set, I knew her personality, I knew that she was well capable of handling this location. In terms of Fairview, Montego Bay, we have had 2 boutique managers so far, and those have also been friends of ours or referred by close friends. It's a very exciting culture. As Nikisha and Siobhan like to call me, I'm the queen of excitement. So all things pretty, all things beautiful, that makes me buzz. And it's a very laid back yet professional culture that we have. And once you step through our doors, you'll feel the warmth of White Lotus Bridal. Because I hate going into a business place and feeling as though I am, a hindrance or I'm an interruption of the day. So it's a big part of our culture here to be respectful to each other. All voices are heard, as well as to be warm to everyone that we encounter. So we open Monday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. For me, I am pretty much always going, always doing something. So 10 to 6 is the typical, opening hours. But sometimes I have orders to fulfill, fascinators or birdcage veils. Myself and my business partner and cousin, Siobhan, we work mostly on that. Nikisha also has a creative side, so she's a part of that, hand-making team as well. So sometimes we go up to 9 o'clock, depending. And even though we close at 6, sometimes we have brides who will come at 5:45. And of course, in the interest of, good relations, we will accommodate them. So it's flexible. Being an entrepreneur is very exciting, but it's also very, very challenging. It takes everything that I have. And we're almost finished with the sewing on of the comb. So my time is very much a part of that.
And we're using invisible thread to make it as seamless as possible.
I am very busy, very often. My mother, God bless her, she understands and she's very supportive. My family is also supportive in general. So I am either on my way to something, on my way back from something, or doing something.
There we have it. A gorgeous feather fascinator.
So I have to try very hard to make time for rest and for, fun, letting your hair down. But my friends understand that not every weekend, we can link up and do something fun even though I want to. So I try to balance it, but it's difficult at times.
So this is the feather fascinator.
So White Lotus really gets much of my resources right now.
Accounting services. Providing financial information to our clients in a timely and accurate manner is a commitment that we feel cannot be compromised. Meaningful, well-organized financial records ensure that your business operations will run more effectively on a daily basis. Dodgen Global provides a full range of cost-effective accounting services, including the following: general ledger and financial statement preparation, bookkeeping, monthly, quarterly, annually, accounting system set up for new businesses, compilation of financial statements, audits and reviews. For more information and to discuss your requirements with one of our experts, please contact us today. Email info@dodgen.global. Website https://dodgen.global.
Have grown from 20 million US to now having 800 million US dollars.
Knowledge, skill, and professionalism. Those are my tools and my armor.
It's a big men don't cry, right? It's a big men don't cry, right?
We were being robbed some $531,000.
I've been angry to the point where I feel like I would get it.
The Good Life, your weekly dose of information on nutrition, wellness, and fitness. Discover ways to nurture your mind, body, and spirit.
Hi, it's Novia MacDonald-White, Senior Associate Editor at the Jamaica Observer. And guess what? You are watching Business Access Television.
The creative side of me is always seeking out new things because I hate to feel like I'm being stagnant. So I'm always seeking out the cutting edge in terms of trends in bridal fashion. How can I improve on my accessories, the quality and the design? So it's sometimes just by inspiration, but sometimes I make a conscious effort to search, to do my homework, to follow, some of the top bridal magazines to see what's happening. And even those things sometimes give me ideas on how I can, put a spin to it and make it my own. The bulk of our bridal gowns are sourced currently from overseas, mostly the United States, Canada, and England. The raw materials are also predominantly from, that part of the world as well, which is sad. We have been in the process of starting our very own line of Jamaican-made, Jamaican-designed bridal gowns. So we are very excited about that because we definitely want to be a part of Brand Jamaica and to support our local, talented set of, artisans who we have here. I've heard it all about the place in social media, etc. I've heard it said that people will forget what you say, but they never forget how you made them feel. And so for us, treating each customer that walks through the door, whether it is somebody who makes a purchase or not, somebody who may be rude or not, we are very big on treating everyone with, giving them our undivided attention and giving them the White Lotus, the royal treatment when they step through the doors. And it has worked because people tell people. Even if they don't find a gown that they like, they will tell their friends. Those people over there, they have good stuff and they're very warm. So that's a big part of how we, build and sustain our customer base. I think just the entrepreneurship journey and what it entails is it has challenges naturally, inherent in the process. Finding the funds sometimes month end, everything is not balancing the way you want it to. And you have to find creative means to make everything, make every end meet. So that's a challenge, those are challenges. As I said before, I have a network and I draw on them for, relieving stress. And also sometimes for a little financial, we do have a few investors currently, so that's a part of it. Another challenge I have faced is I have battled a life-threatening illness. Right in the middle of building White Lotus, the brand, I believe I was diagnosed with breast cancer at the age of 30, and it was right when we just moved into Angels in St. Catherine. So that was a major challenge. Interestingly, White Lotus was a part of what helped to be a good distraction for me. The creative side of it was a part of my therapy. So that's another major challenge I have faced. Sometimes just people clashes, partner vendors, or in a few instances, landlords. We've had some challenges there, but eventually everything works out. I have learned many hard lessons. The major one, I would say, is balance. I have had a 9-to-5 since I started the business. I still do. And so finding a way to not let the business suffer, while of course pursuing my own career, which is also a source of funding for the business. That has been difficult. I would say that I have learned through experience how to balance everything is the crux of it. So now I'm in a position to give more of my time to the business, and that is the ideal for me because the stage at which it's currently at, it needs myself and my business partner Siobhan to really be in it. So I'm currently at the stage where both of us are able to be more involved in the business, and I have seen that it definitely is having the results we want it to have. So I would say lesson learned, and we're the better for it. I'm being very strategic. Currently, my 9 to 5 is one that allows me flexibility in terms of time. So it's a perfect match for now. Eventually, I want to be full-time in the business. I'm also a clinical psychologist by training, and that's something that I practice. So I want to practice it moving forward as well, but of course in a way that allows me the flexibility to be here most of the time. So I'm moving in a nice trajectory, I would say, to be able to have it the way I want it.
With a lot of sparkly lace, and it has straps for those brides who want some support, especially for the bust area.
Well, preventing mistakes is not 100% possible, and we have come to realize that they can sometimes be very helpful. They teach us a lot. In terms of damage control, I find that being honest, owning up, taking responsibility is really the best way to go about it. Because trying to cover up and say, I didn't mean that or I didn't mean that, it makes people defensive, it makes people angry, and it doesn't solve anything. So here at White Lotus, if we do something wrong, if we offend, or if a bride takes offense, even if we meant none, then we own up to it, we apologize, and we take it from a standpoint of solution-oriented. What can we do to make it better? And we find that works for the most part. We are definitely working on our brand. We don't just want to be another boutique that sells and rents bridal gowns. So I find it very, fortuitous that we actually started out doing the handmade items, because that sets us apart from many other boutiques in Jamaica. And also it allows us to customize and give brides exactly what they're looking for in terms of the full bridal ensemble. I find that social media is very, very powerful in terms of a tool for marketing, Facebook in particular. That's something that we utilize heavily. Also, just word of mouth, just doing what it is that we want to impact the brides, the customers that come through the doors, and we find that they tell their friends and it spreads. I'm not willing to break any laws. I'm not willing to do anything that's against my personal set of values and my faith. But I will definitely put my everything, or continue to do that, into the business to make it succeed. So I would say I would not risk, ill health or anything that is very detrimental to my well-being or my family's, but I will definitely do everything I can to continue to push my vision. I've read quite a few entrepreneurial success stories, and I can tell you they are so varied in terms of the personalities behind them or involved in them, in terms of how the story took them, how their vision manifested. Some people failed many times before succeeding, etc. I believe passion is critical to the entire scenario. If you love what you do, not just love it, but if you are literally, if you are possessed by it, and when you go to bed, you think about it. When you wake up in the morning, you think about it. I think pursuing that and doing all you can to find the best ways of crafting it and making it, most efficient will definitely lead to success. It might take a while, but it will lead to success. For me, success is about doing the best at my craft. It's not only about the money for me. I get so much fulfillment from seeing a bride come in and getting exactly what she wanted, in the manner in which she wanted it, and go on to live, the dream married life. So for me, it's about not just taking somebody's money, but giving them the service I think represents White Lotus. My greatest fear is not business related, because especially after my experience with a life-threatening illness, I see things differently. So for me, the business is a critical part of who I am, because it has come out of my creative energies, but my greatest fear has nothing to do with White Lotus. To me, I trust the Lord. He gave me this vision, and I see Him every day opening new doors and just broadening our horizons, so I trust Him to take it to the stars. So my greatest fear would not be anything that, is business related.
Great design is not only how things look, but also how well they work. GLC, more than meets the eye.
Your business matters. Business Access TV offers you the most innovative and effective advertising solution for your business, specializing in B2B sales, cost-effective solutions, the customers you want, the repetition you need. No matter the size and nature of your company, your business matters.
Call us at 876-291-6233 or 876-376-4225. Email sales@batvja.com.
Have grown from 20 million US to now having 800 million US dollars.
Knowledge, skill, and professionalism. Those are my tools and my armor.
It's a big men don't cry, right? It's a big men don't cry, right?
We were being robbed some $531,000.
I've been angry to the point where I feel like I would get it beat.
This week on Home Sweet Home, we go around Jamaica to visit a few of our most historical homes, each with their own little story. Our first stop, let's find out.
Cameo takes you behind the scenes of Jamaica's exploding creative industries to give you an insider's look at how creatives get the job done.
I'm really picky about how we treat our customers.
As creative people, we went a little bit over the top.
Each week, we interview innovators leading the charge in their industry. The chaos of creativity meets the stricture of structure on Business Access TV's Cameo.
In this 1 degree, you're able to do many things.
I think the field found me.
I'd rather work with the deceased than work with the living.
Let us open your mind to careers you've never considered.
Manager, model maker.
Game technician.
Animator.
With empowerment.
Career moves.
Anywhere money is, that's where I am.
What motivates me? Passion to make beautiful things and to see beautiful things. That's a big part of it. I also am motivated by how much I've put in already. So sometimes when I do feel like, listen, I could be on the beach, enjoying my weekends, you know, or just not having the stress of having to push a business, sometimes I'm reminded about how far I have come thus far, what I have accomplished. It's most gratifying to me when a bride steps in and says, I heard about you guys through a friend, or I just heard about you guys somewhere, and I heard that you're great. That reminds me that there is so much more to accomplish, and there's a lot more that we can do, you know, to serve all the brides of Jamaica and even internationally. So just the scope of what we have already put in and what's possible, right? And seeing how God has taken us from being in my bedroom making craft items at night before I go to bed to now having 2 locations in Montego Bay, in Jamaica. I think that's awesome. I would say my mother is one of my greatest inspirations. She is, I like to call her my backbone on this side of heaven. She's very strong, and she is the kind of person that when she puts her teeth into something, that's it. She's not going anywhere. So her support means a lot to me, and just the way she handles the challenges that life has thrown at her is also an inspiration for me. The flexibility. I like to have some control over my own time. That is priceless to me. Being able to do what you love and somewhat on your own terms, that's beautiful. To me, that's paradise. I would say, too, the faithfulness of God. I mean, there are so many other factors. people might say, I have done this correctly or I have done that correctly, but I know the inner story. I know the challenges and the questions and the doubts that I have had. I have seen that he is the one who has founded this idea, and he is very intent on making it successful. I would say Eden Gardens being opened is definitely one of them. The other one was opening of the Fairview boutique, because I've had my sights set on Fairview for a long time, even before I had the location at Old Hope Road, because I was based in Montego Bay for my 9 to 5 at the time. So being able to actually, have that dream materialize, that has been very, very priceless to me. And Eden Gardens is so beautiful, and it's so, it's a great location. So to be able to be here in our small, beautiful boutique, it really, really makes me happy. Currently, we're the only bridal boutique that I know of that has 2 locations island-wide, so I'm definitely proud of that. But it's not so much on a big scale that I, draw my definition of success. Just being able to service our brides and having them leave satisfied, having them come back, send us pictures, see us on the road and hug us, come back and tell Nikisha how great it was that they chose White Lotus for their weddings. What makes me happy is, on some level, seeing other persons who I love happy and being able to be of help to them. So being able to employ people makes me happy. Being able to create opportunities for them to expand their own visions of themselves makes me happy. Even as a clinical psychologist, being able to help people, that makes me happy as well. And as I mentioned before, I love excitement. I love beautiful things. So being surrounded by, bridal gowns and beautiful brides and accessories that I make, that's definitely part of what makes me happy. In my non-work time, I like to watch TV to unwind. I like to watch Law & Order SVU. I like to watch Stay Used to the Dress, but sometimes it can be annoying. So I like to just have quiet time, and of course I love to hang out with my friends, have quality time with them, just, sometimes just chatting foolishness, just having a good time, just being able to relax and unwind. I've sacrificed a lot, as I mentioned before, finances, my time. About maybe 85% of what I have comes into the business in terms of, just being attentive to it, managing all the aspects, being here to make sure things are done well as much as possible, which is not as much as I want to be yet. So I've sacrificed a whole lot, and it's very pleasing to see the sacrifices pay off. We are planning to eventually have our own line of Jamaican-made, designed by White Lotus bridal gowns of the highest quality possible. That's one of the things we're looking forward to. I'm also very intent on exposing the rest of the world to our handmade bridal accessories. So I'm working on that as we speak. Being an entrepreneur is hard work, but it can be very rewarding. I would say if you have an idea, don't discount it. That's the first thing. Believe in your idea. I would say research, read other entrepreneur stories, because it's not just about looking pretty on camera or rolling in the big money. It's about hard work, doing your homework, finding the best strategies, trying to, find ways to mitigate against failure, because failure is a real part of the entrepreneurial journey. So the first thing is have realistic expectations. Some people have an idea that generates billions of dollars in maybe the space of 6 months or a year. But that's not the typical, right, story. So I would say start off believing in your dream, be realistic, do your homework. And the sky's the limit. Don't let anybody tell you that your dream is not worthwhile or valid. It's possible to do great things with a simple idea.
Creating change, building a future, caring hands, giving back, touching hearts, and shaping lives. Impacting our world for the better.
Candy, and welcome to Chill Spot, Jamaica's ultimate leisure show. This season promises to reveal some of the hidden treasures of the lifestyle industry by taking you to the chill spots of some of Jamaica's most brilliant business minds, giving you a glimpse into how they choose to unwind and just hold a vibe. You won't want to miss what happens next. Stay tuned.
In this 1 degree, you're able to do many things.
I think the field found me.
I'd rather work with the deceased than work with the living.
Let us open your mind to careers you've never considered.
Miniature model maker.
Game technician.
Animator.
With empowerment.
Career moves.
Anywhere money is, that's where I am.
Cameo takes you behind the scenes of Jamaica's exploding creative industries to give you an insider's look at how creatives get the job done.
I'm really picky about how we treat our customers.
As creative people, we went a little bit over the top.
Each week, we interview innovators leading the charge in their industry.
The chaos of creativity meets the stricture of structure on Business Access TV's Cameo.
Your business matters. Business Access TV offers you the most innovative and effective advertising solution for your business, specializing in B2B sales, cost-effective solutions, the customers you want, the repetition you need. No matter the size and nature of your company, your business matters.
Call us at 876-291-6233 or 876-376-4225. Email sales@batvja.com.
The need to meet the demand for housing has opened the doors for many more private developers. It is hoped that more families will be able to allocate the resources to realize the dream of finally purchasing their first home. At least that's the dream of the developer of Nell's Cottage. Join us for our first open house visit on this episode of Home Sweet Home. Stay with us. We are now here with developer Mr. Baron Stewart, owner of Stewart's Hardware. Thanks for joining us, Mr. Stewart.
My pleasure.
Now you're going to be talking to us about the development of Nell's Cottage, and I have quite a few questions about it. So firstly, how did the concept come about and why did you choose Clarendon?
Well, I'm in the hardware business for many years, maybe over 40 years. And I've always had businesses with buildings. I build for people, and I have seen the needs of the Clarendon community. We need buildings, we need housing, we need affordable housing. And I chose to develop a property, and it will be the start of many development properties that I intend to carry out. I am the main investor, and it's a family affair, so my members of my family are all part of this development. The Clarendon area, it is not known for apartments. The population is not as large as the urban areas in Kingston and Montego Bay. And I don't think the apartments do as well as they do here.
And when is the project supposed to be completed?
Well, we anticipate that this project should be finished by next year. Should be finished by as early as next year, third quarter of next year.
What would you say is left to be done?
We are in the implementation stage. And we have the model house, and we have most of the infrastructural work done. And we hope that we'll be able to complete this in record time, sometime next year. Remember, it takes less than 6 weeks to complete a house.
Now, you mentioned it takes about 6 weeks to get one of the units up. How do you manage to do that so quickly?
Well, we have a form system, and we also have our suppliers, the main hardware store that we have. And we have skilled and hardworking people here who can get these things done within a reasonable time.
What are some of the behind-the-scenes work that goes into a project like this?
Well, as far as this project is concerned, it was conceptualized as far back as in the 90s.
Okay.
Maybe then you were just a tot. I have been working on this, but it has been a long time for further development. So we have now just decided to bring it to fruition. And I think this is where we are right now.
And everything is going as planned?
And it is going according to plan. We hope to be able to give one of the best development in this parish in this known period.
Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
Does it usually take that long for these projects to get off the ground, and are there any plans for a phase 2 or so?
One can conceptualize for as many as 50 years or more.
True.
Fact is that we have just decided that the time is right to get this project off the ground, and in fact, we are now poised to take on several others.
Okay.
So we do have several others in the pipeline, hopefully next year and beyond.
Okay, looking forward to it. Earlier this year, there were some talks about NHT leaving housing to the private sector. What are your thoughts on that?
I think we do a better job in the private sector in building houses.
Right.
And of course, we can always partner with NHT. We have a public-private partnership that is being mooted by the government, and it is something that I think we could capitalize on. We're in fact hoping that we can participate in that in a big way.
Okay. Well, Mr. Stewart, we understand you're a very busy man, so thank you so much for taking the time out to speak with us. I am now joined by Tyrone Graham, the project manager for Nels Cottage. Welcome, Tyrone.
Thank you.
Now, I want to talk specifically about the development. Tell me, the amenities, how many bedrooms, those sort of things.
All right, what we have at Nels Cottage is a 29-lot subdivision with 26 homes, bungalows, standalone units. We have two bedrooms, because we have 2 lots that are a little bit smaller than the average, and 24 3-bedroom. Okay. All right, the 2 bedrooms are 2-bedroom, 1 bath, a living, kitchen, dining with a wash tub outside, and inside it's built to accommodate a washer-dryer combination or a washer as the homeowners may choose. And for the 3 bedrooms, we have a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, with one of the bedrooms a master suite with a walk-in closet and its own bathroom and a garage that can also, we have in a design optional for the garage to be converted into a study, so we can customize the finishes for our clients. Even though our parent company is Stewart's Hardware, we are not in the furniture business. However, there are some amount of furnishing that you can get from the hardware to buy. So we're selling it as is empty, but what we'll be doing, we'll be staging the units for our open house. We will give prospective homeowners a concept or idea of what they can do with the space as is, and so they can know see where they can go and shop and buy their furniture to put in, or if they are moving in with their existing furniture, or they can set up the units for them to feel as comfortable as possible.
Don't go anywhere, you won't want to miss what's coming up.
Taking the pain out of the audit preparation. Doggin Global now offers audit management services, AMS. With AMS, Doggin Global team manages your external audit process by providing the following. 1. Prepare and review schedules for your external auditors. 2. Prepare responses to your external audit team queries. 3. Assign our team members to locate supporting documents during field work. 4. Draft financial statements in accordance with IFRS to supply to your external auditors. 5. Provide guidance to your internal accounting staff regarding classification and recording of transactions. 6. Review your general ledger for accuracy. 7. Prepare necessary journal entries. 8. Prepare fixed asset register. 9. Prepare accounting and operational manual for effective internal control. 10. Liaise with the company external auditors. We work with your team to achieve timely and effective external audits, resulting in timely completion of your audited financial statement, while your current staff focuses on their daily activities. Contact us, info@doggin.global, website doggin.global.
Hi, it's Novia MacDonald White, Senior Associate Editor at the Jamaica Observer. And guess what? You are watching Business Access Television.
The unit is very nice based on the space and the accessories that you'll get in it. So based on the kitchen area, it's nice and spacious. Based on my family size, I'd prefer to go into a 2-bedroom. And the price of the 2-bedroom is very convenient based on the size as well.
In terms of the room size, they're large. And the bathroom spaces, the bathrooms are very large too, so you can do much with them. $15.9, that's okay, because you don't need to do anything else to this property. It's everything. It's 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, a lot of closet space.
Location, it's good. It's a reasonable distance from Kingston in terms of it's easy for me because my family is in South Clarendon and Westmoreland is halfway away from here, so it would be easy to travel anywhere in the island from here. But the place is nice because the Clarendon they have high ceilings, so it keeps the place cool, so you can't worry about that anymore. And then the price is very attractive. So I want to come out here more because at 15 million for a 3-bedroom, it's something I can work with.
My perspective of the place would be, it's nice to live, it's comfortable, I feel at home. The bathroom, I can have my own bathroom and so will my mom and dad, and I love their closet, so I can put my stuff in there and they will get my closet. I love it, I just love it.
So tell us about some of the other amenities of the community.
Apart from the units themselves, it will be a gated community with a security garbage skip to the front. We have 3 green spaces that the families can use for recreational areas. We didn't put in a pool because, again, in the rural area, pool is not a big selling point for rural communities because people are used to, in the rural communities, to go to the rivers, go to the beach.
Right.
We're in Arsal, and Arsal is about 10 miles away from from a beach. You have Salt River Mineral Bath, which is pretty close. You have Milk River Mineral Bath, which is pretty close as well.
Okay. So the
people,
pool is not a major selling point.
It's not a major selling point for this area, given the location where we are. But in terms of gated, it's a new concept in the rural area as well to have gated communities. So it is a good selling point for us right now to have a gated community with security, and so that people can feel safe.
Right. Now, are these classified as low budget or middle income homes?
We're looking middle income with NHT new dispensation of $5.5 million for new build construction. Our price in consideration for that, because the 2 bedrooms are going for 13.5 and the 3 bedrooms are going for 15.9 starting. And the land sizes, they're pretty much very big spaces. When we go there, you'll see what we have on offer. We start from about 6,000 square foot up to about 8,000 square foot in size, which is pretty huge for a development. But we're in the rural area, not in the urban.
Right.
So the families in the rural areas are used to having a huge, large yard space, so kids can play and put in their own amenities. So we took that into consideration along with the regulatory bodies of the parish, which is the Clarendon Parish Council, in what land size we can really put on offer. Our target group is really returning residents, teachers, police, people of middle. So you want to select your group really, because it's just a small development. You want everybody to be living there as a family, because it's only 26 units.
Now, Mr. Stewart had touched on this, but I want to go more in depth about some of the behind-the-scenes work that goes into making these units.
As the great Martin Luther King would have said, I have a dream. Everything started from a dream and a concept. Mr. Stewart had, as he touched on in his part of the interview, that it's a concept that he had from in the 90s, early 90s. He has went ahead and gotten the subdivision approval, which is critical for us to move forward in a development like this from 1995. However, nothing was done in terms of the construction and the development. It was just there. And then to move it from that stage with that approval, then we'll have to get our engineers, our architects, project managers, our quantity surveyors to prepare all the necessary documentation, the designs, the quantities, and submit for the necessary approvals now for the building, because NWC is critical in getting approval, because we have to provide water. Water is one of the critical amenities in any development. Without water, you can't get any approval. So NWC would have to do their background checks and see if they have water in the area to supply a development of such. And so the designs and reports that NWC are required is part of the background checks that would have been done and work have been done. Fire department would have to approve as well. Fire department would have to check and ensure that there is enough water. If there's a fire, we have enough fire hydrants in the development for them to assist them in firefighting. Also, Ministry of Health.
Oh, it's a lot of stuff.
Yes. You see, a lot of people don't know what really goes on behind the scene. It's critical for Ministry of Health to look at the type of sewage system that we have proposed and approve it before we can actually construct. Because without a proper sewage disposal, you can have all kind of different diseases that can break out because the fecal matter not being treated properly. And then a parish council now comes down, and where the parish council is divided into road and works and the council, which is the planning department and the building department. So they look at how the entrance to the development affects traffic flow within the area, and then they have to give their approval as well. The parish council now takes into consideration all those different bodies and now grant the approval based on their assessment of the structure of the proposed buildings to be built.
Still more to come on Home Sweet Home. Stay with us. Hey
guys, I'm Candy and welcome to Chill Spot, Jamaica's ultimate leisure show. This season promises to reveal some of the hidden treasures of the lifestyle industry by taking you to the chill spots of some of Jamaica's most brilliant business minds, giving you a glimpse into how they choose to unwind and just pull a vibe. You won't want to miss what happens next. Stay tuned.
The Good Life, your weekly dose of information on nutrition, wellness, and fitness. Discover ways to nurture your mind, body, and spirit.
I'm Adam Stewart. This is Business Access TV, serious about business.
All right, tell me again the size of the unit, because we're looking at the land space here.
Right. What you're looking at here, the size unit is 1,300 square feet.
Okay, that's the size of the land.
No, the unit.
Unit,
the unit
okay,
itself.
right.
This lot that we're standing on right now is 6,750 square feet.
Okay.
This is, I think, lot 27. Yeah, 6,750 square feet this lot is. And as you can see here, we have prepared the base now to receive the foundation for another unit to go up. And in preparation for this, we have prepared a marl base and what we pour what you call a raft foundation. And a raft foundation allows the unit to float, like you're on the, like the name surrounding a raft. You go river rafting, right? So, say for an earthquake, the impact on the unit will be less because the raft allows the units to float and go with the movement of the earth.
Okay, that's interesting.
Just behind here is where we have dug to put in our sewage treatment facility, which we're using septic tank and tile fields.
Okay. Now tell me something, is this space enough for me to add to the unit if I would like?
Yes. The restrictive covenants is just that we don't allow you to add to the front.
Right.
But you can do anything to the sides or the back.
Okay.
Right.
So this complex per se goes all the way up this road with units on either side?
Yes. As you can see, when you look all the way down to that last light post, just beyond there is where our boundary line is. It's 5.8 acres with one road through the center with units on either side, 13 units on either side. As I just told you before, we have two bedrooms based on the size of those lots and 24 3-bedrooms. One of the 2 bedrooms will be on lot number 1, that is the first lot you come in on your right hand, and another lot up here on the left hand side. I don't remember which lot is it, but I know that lot 19 and 20 is reserved for recreational area.
Okay, now tell me something, if I am to purchase, do I get to choose which lot I'd like?
Once you're
early?
Once you're early, yes you can.
Okay, I wanted to check if that
First come, first serve.
And what is the benefit of purchasing, I should say, before it's built? Are there any benefits?
The benefit is that if you wait too late, you might not get, based on the limited amount of units that we have, and then you're talking about inflation. Right. Inflation might kicks in. Right now, Jamaica inflation rate is about 7% per year. Now, where we're priced, if you come in now, you get the price where the inflation rate is. But if you wait until next year, it might be more based on the inflation rate because the US dollar is sliding each day, so we have to be cognizant of that.
Right. So just reinforce why people should buy into Nell's Cottage.
Well, right across the island, we have a problem with crime. Nell's Cottage is one of the only subdivision which is gated in Clarendon at the moment. And security is key and paramount for everyone. So buying into Nels Cottage will offer you that level of security because, as you can see, it's a gated community and it will have a 24-hour guard at the front that patrols at night. And so with security alone will allow people to want to come here. And separate and apart from that, we're pretty close to the highway. We're just off the last exit of the highway. Once you're on the highway, 45 minutes here in Kingston. If you work in Kingston, commuting to and from here to Kingston is very short. 45 minutes in the mornings, 45 minutes in the evening, because presently I commute from Kingston to here in the mornings and it's only 45 minutes. And it's, I find it an easy drive because I'm going against traffic. So Nels Cottage can offer the accessibility to the necessary commodities around. And Maypen is now a growing town. It's growing and a lot of development is happening in and around Maypen. So a lot of people want to live and do business in Maypen. So Nels Cottage offer them that flexibility of living close to work and being comfortable and safe at the same time.
Okay, and tell us about the price point for each of the units.
All right, again, the price point. I think the price is very affordable, given that the 2 bedrooms are going for 13.5 and the 3 bedrooms are going for 15.9. For a 3 bedroom of this size and the land space that you get and the amenities that are there, it's unbeatable.
Agreed.
It's unbeatable.
Well, Tyrone, that's where we wrap things up. Thank you very much for speaking with us.
Most definitely, and it was my pleasure talking to you.
Thanks.
And that's it for another week of Home Sweet Home. This week has been fun and, of course, underscoring another topic in the business of real estate. So much more for this season, so tune in next week for another exciting show.
I do have a dream, and I know you have a dream, that we can make Jamaica the place of choice for you to choose to live, to work, to do business.
We are going for the Jamaica we want. Making steady progress to achieve the Sustainable Development Goals in our National Development Plan, Vision 2030 Jamaica. We have teamed up with valued partners, working through strong institutions to reduce inequalities in our society. We commit to being responsible in our production and consumption, ensuring we build sustainable communities in harmony with nature. Jamaica is making significant strides in providing quality, lifelong education for all, enabling our people to be engaged in decent work to drive economic growth, equipping men and women with the skills to build resilient infrastructure, promote sustainable industry, foster innovation, and utilize new technologies. Urgent action is being taken to manage natural resources responsibly, protecting clean water sources, ensuring access to water and sanitation for all, diversifying to alternative energy sources, conserving our environment and sustaining life below water and on land. Jamaica is making moves to ensure healthy lifestyles for the well-being of our people. We're promoting sustainable agriculture to achieve food security, improve nutrition, and end extreme hunger, putting in the work to end poverty in all its forms. We're on track in achieving our Sustainable Development Goals through realizing our Vision 2030 Jamaica. We will leave no one behind.
And I'm chilling right now 'cause
Oh, we're winning right now.
Hi, this is Angelique Martin Spencer, Principal and Interior Decorator of Ash, Angelique Spencer Home, and you're watching Business Access TV, serious about business.
Your business matters. Business Access TV offers you the most innovative and effective advertising solution for your business. Specialized